Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Snacks, a gaming podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Episode 8. It's 2 months, I guess, technically.
2 months.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
It's me, as always, and as always, joined by...
Cuff Hopper, here again.
A1 Day 1.
8-1 Day 1.
Because
Yeah,
episode 8.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta fit themes in there.
Alright.
That's what people do.
I guess.
Yeah. We're gonna kick it off like we always do. As I stated last week, we kind of have structure now. We have segments that we're trying to keep in order, and I like that. I like that. It makes me feel like we're official.
Yeah, it's a nice flow chart.
Yeah. Once you get the shoe on, feels good. Feels good. You know.
You loop-de-loop and swoop, and your shoes are looking cool.
Yeah.
And your podcast gets some views.
Hopefully.
Something, I don't know.
Hopefully I've been getting likes and stuff, and a lot of people that, I kind of went to school with, I've been promoting it on my actual page, so hopefully there's some others out there listening, and they'll share that with people, if you like what we do. If you don't, no negative comments needed, just distance yourself. It doesn't bother me.
Need to get, let's get Trent Galloway on here.
Trent Galloway? I think, Brandon. I don't
Oh,
know.
well?
Yeah.
Let's get Brandon on here.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he lives in this state, but we could do some kind of weird Skype thing.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because I seen him. He posted on one of my most recent things. So, but yeah, kicking it off like we always do. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
How's your week been?
Pretty good. Not a lot of variety this week.
It's been a fucking crazy week.
It has been a crazy week. First of all, last week was fall break, so I only had 3 days of school. And on one of those days, my lab canceled, and on another one of those days, one of my classes canceled. So I basically, for the most part, had like a whole week of school off, which was, hype. And went to a Coheed concert, which was nice.
Phenomenal.
It was great. I liked it. Always good to support the Coheeds.
As you know, and the fans should know.
It was at the Fillmore, which has changed the way its layout is.
No.
Yep.
It's been the same. But Coheed is actually my favorite band, as I'm sure you're very aware of.
No way.
No way. Yeah.
It's news to me.
Yeah. But I did what I do there. Got straight into the pit. Fucked my hand up.
It'd be like that sometimes. I
Yep.
got a concussion in one of the pits, so I know how it goes.
Yep, I don't know if I fractured or... It had to be a fracture because it doesn't hurt as bad as I would imagine a break would be. But,
Well, a fracture is a break. It's just a...
Yeah, just not a full.
Yeah.
But, got crowd surfed, as I've done many times before. Got dropped.
Yeah.
First time for everything. They
Yeah.
dropped me, I hit the ground, I got picked right back up and slung. I made it across, just not on the first go. Proud of their enthusiasm. Glad they didn't let me lay there. But
I guess we've all been dropped at this point. I got dropped at the Weezer concert. You got dropped at this one. Wyatt also got dropped at this one. So, it's the first time for everything.
It was fantastic. Loved every bit of it. Only regret is, after I got dropped, I wasn't able to fully mosh when I got back to the pit. Hand was fucked up.
Yeah, kind of throws you for a loop a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, goddamn.
I was like the Birmingham show. After I took that blow to the head, I was like, oh, man. I need to get somewhere. I just need to lean on something. Found a nice little handrail where I could still kind of view the band, and it was just sitting there with the Looney Tunes stars going around like, yeah.
I was not going to let it stop me, but it did. I made it back, and I tried to shove somebody, and boy, my hand screamed at me. And I held my arm, and some guy came up and yelled in my ear, like, is your hand fucked up? I'm like, I'm good, dog. I'm good. And I just kind of shouldered him off and moshed around with my hand tucked under my arm. I tried to stay alive. Keep the mood alive.
Good stuff.
Yeah. That was basically my week, because other than that, I worked.
Right.
That made my fucking week, and work has been hell with a fucked up right hand. Left hand feels like it's getting
up there.
Getting buff, man. Yeah.
Gonna become left-hand dominant.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
It kind of feels that way. Everything I just kind of shuffle off to the left hand and pick it up.
Aside from that, like in terms of gaming stuff, been kind of all over the place this week. Finally got a nice Borderlands set up. Still trying to platinum it. I just got like 3 left to go. Beat Code Vein. interesting, very anime, and dived back into the League. Not League, Apex Legends.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the old school crowd, or
Me and Graham and Jesse played a couple games. Me and Jesse played a couple games a few days ago, and then last night, me and Graham and Jesse played some games on the new map. I tried out the new guy. Not as broken as he looked in the trailers, or in the the gameplay thing we watched of him. Very, very hit or miss.
the guy with the drone?
Yeah, the guy with the drone. He has no combat abilities whatsoever. Like, so, as soon as bullets start flying, he, it's just gunplay.
Yeah.
He's just there for recon, and
But you theoretically should be able to get a upper hand on, firefights.
Well, theoretically, if you stay in your drone constantly and know exactly where enemies are, and you can do that EMP thing, exactly. But if they get the drop on you, he's pretty much just a gun on a stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've also gotten back into League of Legends a little bit. That kind of came out of nowhere. I watched the Netflix documentary. That kind of got my attention back into it. Me and Jesse watched a few LCS matches, and that kind of got my hypeness back up. And then, as you just witnessed, played a couple games here.
Yeah.
Still got it. Muscle memory's a thing, I think.
I think I explained this to you. I've never been a MOBA man, so watching people play or explain that game to me is literally, as I put it, watching my family try to pick up and play a video game. It just sounded so foreign, and everything was second nature to you, and you're trying to explain things to me, and I'm like, these are just words, dog.
I mean, League is the only one I understand. Dota 2, I tried to get into the Dota 2 thing. That one was too much. That's way too much of a learning curve. I tried Smite for a bit on the Xbox.
I've played a little Smite, so that's pretty much the only MOBA that I know. So
yeah, that one wasn't really for me either. And I don't know if it counts as a MOBA, but like that Paladins game, where it's like Smite or League but first person,
I feel like that was more in the Overwatch kind of clone.
Kinda, but you still have the minions and stuff that
you
push with you a little bit and everything. It's that wasn't really.
You have like cards or something you can buy to upgrade. So there's
a little bit of customization there, but that one wasn't really for me.
I only played it on Switch. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was on Switch.
Yep.
So
the more you know.
The more you know. How was your week, dog?
Like I said, the Coheed show blew my goddamn mind, as it does. Show number 9 for me. I like to tout, throw that out there.
Did you buy any merch?
No. I have enough merch.
Why I got a hoodie?
Yeah, from the fucking opener.
I mean, it was a cool hoodie.
What was it?
It's like Astronoid or...
Yeah, he got an Astronoid hoodie, yeah. It's crazy.
$15 cheaper than the Coheed one.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Look cool, though.
Yeah, like the actual Creature Tour, whatever, last year, I bought, dude, easily over $200 worth of shit for this fucking band. Damn. I bought 2 of the same albums, one a web exclusive. I bought a box set with a comic in it and a mask in it. Yeah, I actually bought a CD for it just to get the FYE exclusive patch. I went to the mall just to buy a CD just for the patch.
Is this one of the patches you sew on, or you
iron it on? Iron on.
Nice.
Got a little glue on the back. Yeah, I gave the CD to my girlfriend, and yeah. So I'm done with merch for a while, especially on them. I got the lighter and the bottle opener and shirts galore. I have enough shirts for like 2 weeks. So
yeah, I don't blame you. Merch be expensive.
It is, especially headlining bands. They just hoodies $50, t-shirts $30. I bought a lighter that's not even an official Zippo. That's $25.
It's a cool lighter, though.
Yeah. I tried to find a replacement that way I could have one if this one ever gets scratched too much. $60 eBay. Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. They're not in the merch. They're not in the merch thing on the website anymore. So.
Well, don't feel bad. The only merch I've ever bought was a Coldplay shirt when I went to go see them in Washington D.C. August 27th, 2017, the Redskins Stadium. # bring back Coldplay tours. Where you at?
They just announced an album today.
What?
Yeah.
This is news to me. Is it?
It's
another tour coming up. Right.
Do you want to pause?
No, you good.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I'll check that out. When I have time.
It's like a dual album or something like that. I was just reading it earlier. No, other than Heed, man. Like I said, work's been fucking hell. Game passing it up. I need to get back on current games, especially since I'm doing the podcast. I feel like I'm lacking because you have more experience with the newer games, but I'm also broke, still paying off this PC, and my car was a piece of shit for like a month and a half.
Oh, you want to talk about piece of shit cars?
I mean, so like I've been just paying off shit. I haven't been in the actual right financial stability to throw money towards a new game.
You got the Game Pass.
Yeah, but nothing like new has been on there, other than Gears so far.
Not true.
Yeah, I splurged and spent $20 and bought Oblivion because nostalgia glasses are real. Damn it, they're fucking real.
Better than Skyrim.
It is. I love it.
I think.
I love it.
I will fight that to the day I die.
Made a blue Argonian named Slurb.
Cool deal.
Yep, thief.
Nice.
Always go thief. I can't help it.
It's the way to go if you know how the ins and outs of the game work.
When I started it, I was like, I'm gonna do a new build, something I've never done. That's why people replay these, right? And then as I went, I was like, man,
Sneaky dagger, one-headed user.
Yep.
A little bit of bow and magic sprinkled in.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much been my fucking week. Boring and shit. But hopefully that'll change this week. So we got some news. Towards a little towards the end.
We do have some news.
We actually, good segue.
Lay it on me, dog.
Have you seen the PS5 Dev Kit?
Nope.
Little release thing?
Nope.
It's an ugly, hideous fucking... I hope it's a dev kit, and I hope that's not what we get. It's basically in the shape of a V.
I have seen the screenshots of.
Okay, you've seen that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
what it looks like.
Yeah, that's awful.
It does look weird.
I when it was in its early concept and getting thrown out to people, I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. That's a dev kit. But now, here we are. I feel like developers have had it for a while. Mm-hmm. So it should have changed forms by now. I think. I don't know. I'm not one of those lucky YouTubers that actually gets hands-on with things, yet. Yet. I like that. But, goddamn, I hope that is not final design. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It does look weird.
I mean...
Hopefully that's, like, just the prototype phase thing.
Yeah. Like, maybe on the set of, like, the Alien franchise, movies, it would look fine. Just sitting somewhere. It'd look good. But, no, literal V with vents.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that just didn't vibe with me. I get it, V5, PlayStation 5, cool. But some of the stuff they're touting, coming from a newfound PC perspective, sounds ridiculous as shit. Because shit that I want to put in this thing, that supposedly this box is going to be able to do, for an affordable price, is...
Welcome to consoles.
But that it doesn't. There's no fucking way. They're saying 8K ray tracing. I'm assuming 8K. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say 8K is for video output. Mm-hmm. I mean, for movies and stuff. If you have an 8K TV, what the fuck medium even has an 8K? Most Blu-rays are still just 4K.
Maybe sports. That's about all I can think of.
But even most TV providers don't even offer above.
Well, hey man, they're getting ahead of the curve. They're getting ready. They were late to the 4K scene, so they're,
But we're gonna have an official 4K Blu-ray player.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
cool.
So that's cool. But the ray tracing thing, dude, when you look at cards for PC, those are easily $1,000 for the 2080. RTX, but I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, but we've been on this little rabbit hole before. The console thing,
they sell
optimized and programmed to do
specifically for games. Yeah. But even that, they do sell them at a loss at first. That's how the PS3. Pretty much everything gets sold at a loss originally, and then technology does what it does, and bada boom, everything's cheaper a year down the line, and
then that supply and demand curve.
Yep, so they're fine.
That's then profits in the long run or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's just wild to me what they're touting, and the console looks weird. And
have we gotten to see what the controller looks like yet?
It's the Boomerang. No, I'm just kidding.
God, I was about Jesus. Ooh.
The Boomerang PS3 controller.
God, that was terrible.
Almost as terrible as the price point when it first launched. $600. It better not be. But who knows? It's all up in the air.
Yeah. Well, we'll see as time comes along, I guess. Yeah.
And holiday next year.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Black market deals, Christmas deals, all that good
Black
stuff.
market.
Oh,
Sell my kidney Black Friday.
Black Friday, there you go.
Sell my kidney to get
Black
one of them
market
V
deals.
things. What are they? My guitar? No. Next up on the news. Something you probably won't care about. It's cool. Steam actually is doing like a little remote play thing. It's something that the PS4 had launch. And it doesn't really get utilized a lot, but it's cool. It's that feature where you can couch co-op local games online.
What, they're like a phone or something?
No. You know, you ever share played?
Yeah, like through a party system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have like a local multiplayer game hosted on one console.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
And it kind of, player 2 just gets a live feed and has a live feed input from the control. So, I think that's kind of cool. I thought it was noteworthy, news-wise.
How does that work?
I mean, what do you mean, how does it work? Internet!
I mean, do they have a separate monitor?
I mean, they're online.
What do you mean?
Say, you're at home on your PC, I'm at home on my PC.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we want to play a local game that doesn't support online co-op.
I see what you're saying. All
yeah,
right.
so you can couch co-op and...
Well, yeah, you said couch co-op, and I immediately thought like two people in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, online couch co-op.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's a weird thing.
Gotcha.
But
That's
kind
cool.
of it's kind of weird that PlayStation did that. No one cared about it. I played a couple of games with people like that.
Yeah, I've used the share play a few times, mainly just to be like, you want to try this game out real quick?
Yeah.
And then for like 5 minutes, and that's about it. I don't use it all the time.
Me and my girlfriend in a long distance relationship, we actually played a couple of games early on together via share play. I remember Tekken. That was funny. Good old time, because she didn't have it, and
Nothing brings out the
the love and support of a significant other.
The relationship status, like beating the hell out of each other in Tekken.
With Lucky Chloe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my choice of character.
Honestly, I'm surprised it took Steam this long to do something.
It seems like something Steam would have started originally.
Yeah.
As many, indie games hit that before indie games even got popular enough to bleed to, console stores.
It's probably a lot of background work that went into making that a thing without, someone being able to just be like, I'm just going to like straight up give this game to you or something, You're playing it and you can basically just like download, stuff to prevent preventative measures, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of something that Steam did first, let's talk about digital refunds.
Okay.
Perfect segue.
Yes.
One day we'll get to a point where we don't mention how our segues work, but as for now,
we'll still tip our hats.
I like it. Yeah, that's fun. During, I think our last podcast, we talked about it a little bit. The Blizzard China controversy. China. Yeah, I had to bring the Trump into it too. The Blizzard China controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo, just getting Overwatch. We talked about that last week as well.
Yep.
Not a big fan of Blizzard now.
How Blizzard is doing things.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's so much as what Blizzard's doing as much as that one guy fucked Blizzard over and saying what he said about the Hong Kong thing.
You're talking about the professional player?
Yeah. Because Nintendo has their game developer, they have their pockets every fucking where.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's actually working with it's a company, I think they're called Tizen, something like that, to actually get newer games in China, because, China has very strict laws about everything. Games aren't wildly available.
Unless it's copyright laws. Then they can just go nuts with free, like, copyright spin-off games.
But if you've ever had to refund a digital game from any online, distribution center, be it Xbox, PlayStation, God forbid Nintendo. Nintendo could give a shit less when it comes to digital forefronts. But
I've never tried to refund a game now that I think about it.
Yeah, I haven't either till
PC life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You download something that you think is going to be great from 20 years ago, and then you realize it doesn't run great on a souped-up fucking brick from 20 years later.
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't know what it's doing. But, yeah, they're actually offering Overwatch refunds. No questions asked. Just you call in, and if you bought the game, you can...
I don't want this no more.
Yep. So, that's a little odd. I get it. I get it from a Japanese company.
Why would you get the game knowing full well I would hope you would know what Overwatch is, and then just be like, nah, I don't want this.
Well, a lot of people are upset with the way Blizzard handled the situation.
So it's just like a boycott thing.
Yeah. And Nintendo just letting it happen. It makes sense from there.
Because we all know Japan and China loved each other, right? Yeah. They've never had beef before. Well, it's probably just like a subtle electronic middle finger to...
But... Yeah, it is a little odd, that if that game would have released on the Switch when the Switch was actually relevant, and I don't mean the Switch isn't relevant now, but I mean day one had Overwatch would have helped. And Overwatch coming to the Switch was a big fucking deal.
I mean, it only took them 3 years, but sure.
And now it hit on like the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blizzard's getting all this controversy, and one of what could have been the Switch's, biggest downloadable titles, because it didn't get a cart that I know of. It literally just got a downloadable code in a fucking plastic sleeve. So, but
good for him, I guess.
I don't know where. I'm not putting my,
That's a weird place to be in.
Just stating, yeah.
Yeah.
They could have been Nintendo could have pushed the shit out of that, but instead they have like dropped marketing. There's they don't talk about it at all. It's there.
I think
Blizzard. Overwatch is on the Switch, but Nintendo is not talking about it, and they're offering refunds.
We talked about this last week. I think that's the appropriate way to handle it. Just be like, hands off, whatever. Y'all do you. You're the users.
You want to boycott? Yep. Call us up. Call us up. We'll give you your $60 back.
You don't support this. That's your choice. You paid the money. You want your money back. Fine.
I haven't dove too far into it, but I know. I'm just going to say, guarantee you don't get your actual fucking money back. Guaranteed it goes back to your Nintendo wallet, and there's no way to get it back to your actual card.
That's still another game you can get.
Yeah, but still, if you're going to get a refund, even Steam's like that, and PlayStation, everything's like that, but still. If you're boycotting something and you didn't want it, if they're going to take it that far, you should be able to get your exact money back to your card.
They'll take your currency, but they'll give you, your digital equivalent.
Well, your money goes everywhere, but this only stays on our system, buddy. Only on our system.
Well, in that case, they may be losing money. If you get down to the nitty gritty of USD versus JPN currency, $60 here is I'm going off on a weird tangent with this one, but
I had this argument with a coworker the other day.
It's not like $1 to 100 yen. It's not even in that regard. So
it's a little less, right?
So they may even be losing out on that. Yeah, it's a little less. Our dollar is not the equivalent to one or 100.
Yeah, 100 yen. It's 80.
It's something. Theirs is.
I literally had this conversation at work the other day, and someone proved me wrong. So who knew?
Yep.
Rednecks that work at a parts store knew their Japanese currency.
They just stay up on them stocks, boys. Stonks.
Yep. They knew more than me, because I was like, no, it's not that low. And they were like, no, it is. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then they pulled it up and was like, look. And I'm like, okay, cool. Appreciate it. The Weeaboo Gamer whatever was wrong.
So much for America #1 globalization power, right?
Yeah. Do you have anything to bring for the news?
Yeah.
What you
got? Blizzard has banned more players in response to the Hearthstone thing.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
That is what I care about.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Moving on into this segment of the podcast. A few days ago, I guess we could prelude this with something we talked about last week. Pro player Blizz Chung got banned for supporting, Liberate Hong Kong. And
he's literally supporting. He just stated something.
Yeah, he just stated it.
Yeah, it's not like he was tearing up or Yeah,
he wasn't Boston bombering anything,
Yeah.
like, he was just stating his opinion, and apparently that's ban-worthy. Anyway, for more information on that, check out the last podcast. This podcast, though, just a couple days ago, Blizzard banned 3 players from an American university that also held up a sign saying "Liberate Hong Kong."
But they did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, no, they said that. They
Yeah.
they tweeted it out and everything and said we knew what we were getting into.
They wanted to make sure that Blizzard was giving fair ban treatment all across the board, is what I read. They fully knew what they were getting in for. They were just kind of doing.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
They were making sure that the company was actually holding, itself true to what the fuck they did. Which I want to say that when the guy first did it, I think they kind of reacted a little too fast, too hard.
Yeah, like a shot from the hip.
Yeah, just like, oh, no, that's bad. We got to do something about that. And once they did it, there's nothing else you can do. And so you had the people, like you just talked about. And so it's good to kind of keep them in check. Like, okay, are you actually going to stand by that? And they did the exact same thing, and they got banned as well. So
they knew it was coming, though. That's
it's cool they held their word, but
that's some courage. I think they got they didn't get a year ban, which was weird because the first guy, Blizz Chung, he got banned for a year, and these 3 guys, they only got like a 6-month suspension. So I don't know what that means, but
one wasn't in like Camera Light, right?
I guess it is also true. One of them was in like a Grand Prix, and these guys I think were just like in local matches or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, Blizzard is not in a good spotlight right now.
Yeah,
still.
Would you tell me earlier that they had like a BlizzCon?
Oh yeah, they were supposed to have a 15-year anniversary event in, I believe it was Taiwan, which if you don't know your geography is in Asia.
I'm not too well versed.
Chinese territory. And, they have delayed that for reasons unknown.
I don't know why the fuck they would do that.
Why would they do that? I mean,
they're so supportive of, the Chinese government. So.
Yeah, you think they'd be out there just throwing their Chinese currency around.
If you haven't watched this latest season of South Park, don't want this to be about TV at all. This is more gaming-oriented. But if you're interested in the Blizzard thing, South Park has tore a new asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Just to people supporting the China thing. They bring up Blizzard.
I've seen
the Winnie the Pooh shit, man. God damn. It's been hilarious.
I've seen the snippets on Imgur. Shout out to Imgur. Should post this on Imgur, actually, now that I think about it.
Huh?
Give it a little shout out.
Anything helps?
But yeah, I've seen the GIFs of like the section, the highlights of each episode.
Fucking Randy Marsh, like, literally choking and slicing Winnie the Pooh's head off with a wire.
No,
God.
I think my favorite one was like when Mickey Mouse himself is just walking through there like, which one of y'all motherfuckers has decided to rebel against China? Who was it?
South Park? Do I own that?
Who is that? Randy Marsh? What is that? Yeah.
Do I own them? That's good stuff. But to throw another thing out there, actually. You snuck this on here.
What?
Oh, I didn't see it before we started. The Blizzard news.
Oh, the banning the personal players?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it because when we was doing the transition.
Oh.
You snuck it under, and then I didn't even know we was moving on.
I typed it on there.
I know you didn't mean to. I just wasn't very observant when I came back into the room.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't mean to catch you off guard or whatever.
It's all good. But this was a segment that we like to call What We Care About. We talk about what we care about, not all the game news that you need to hear, but the games that we like to talk about. And then, yeah.
Yes.
Trying to get in the rhythm of that.
Trying to do that.
Yeah. But in terms of games this week, there's a fucking shitload. And
there is.
A lot of them I didn't know.
So let's delve right into the first one. Street Warriors.
Oh, no, Street Outlaws.
Street Outlaws. Can't even get the name right. That is a joke.
I don't even know. It had like a
game,
a suffix or something to it.
That game looked like something.
Oh, no.
Like early PS1 drag.
I don't know about PS1.
PS2, sorry.
It looked a little rough, but no.
It looked like passable at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But, you think of a TV show game.
Yeah, probably not a lot of money going into
who's
that.
Who's buying that? You guys don't even probably know what we're talking about. Street Outlaws is a drag racing TV show. My father loves it. It's the only reason I know about it. There's a fuck ton of games coming out this week. And like I said, with what we care about, don't care about most of them.
Same.
Yeah.
Not to hate on your genres of games, but
I mean, there's JRPGs and man, there's just so many games that we'll never be able to complete if we actually pick up everything. And I don't know. I just pick what we can actually talk about and what we care about. So that's the title. MediEvil. Did not realize that game had a fucking eye in it.
How do you say it?
I don't know.
I always thought it was
MediEvil. Yeah.
MediEvil.
But it has an eye in there. Yeah. MediEvil.
MediEvil?
Yeah. Has a fucking eye in there.
I always just called it Medieval back in the day.
I don't understand why. But anyway, it's got its big remaster debut. I know that you played it back when...
Way back in the day.
Yeah. Any excitement coming up for that? I think it comes out Tuesday.
I'll probably pick it up just so I can complete it. Never did as a
Complete
kid.
it!
Yeah, just so I can beat it. Because pretty sure I said this on the podcast. Like, never actually got to beat it back in the day because memory card we didn't have a thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Every time you say that to me,
I know.
I just make this face. I'm like, oh.
I know. Actually, that's the main reason I wasn't able to beat a lot of games. Remember I borrowed your PS2 so I could beat Brave Fencer Musashi?
The one that I literally just bought off of one of our other friends.
Yeah.
Just so I could play this collection that I bought from somebody.
Like, literally borrowed your PS2, went out and bought a memory stick from...
Lost Ark?
Lost Ark. There you go.
Shout out to Lost Ark.
Shout out to Lost Ark off Spring Garden Street, Greensboro, North Carolina.
I know,
for all your arcade and action figures and console needs in that area.
They also have board games.
They also have board games.
Plushies. Hentai.
They have a backroom arcade.
They do tournaments. They were actually streaming the other day.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
No.
Check out your Lost Ark stream if you live around this area and want to check it out.
Yeah. I wish I could get big enough to where, I could shut up my little local homesteads. That'd be so dope.
Just get them as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Lost Ark. That'd be high.
I'd end up having to pay them to use it.
No.
Yeah. Just using their name. I'm dropping their name too much.
Mm.
We can only afford one LA drop, so we gotta stop saying it now.
LA.
But
yeah, I'll probably... I mean, it won't have the same, nostalgia feel to it with the old PS1 graphics and everything, but I'll probably pick up the MediEvil remaster and just so I can play through it.
Daniel Fortescue.
First
in, first out.
Good game. He really was.
Yeah.
Charged right into the battle, took an arrow to the brain.
Way before the Skyrim memes.
Those were arrows to the knee.
I know.
Daniel Fortescue out here making them look weak. Took an arrow straight to the face, came back to life, and just slaughtered half the country.
Very jankily. That's even a word. Combat for that game originally, like I said, I played it on my Vita not too long ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Bad.
It's rougher than you think, buddy.
At the time?
I don't know about that at the time, but try it now.
Well, I mean, sure. I'm sure they probably worked out the jankily skewed combat. I just wanted to say the word.
It's fun.
Yeah. Probably. Oof. You ready for this? You feel that?
I'm feeling it.
There's nails coming into my wrist right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm being crucified. I bet if you picked it up on the PS1, retro style, and played it, I bet the controls are better than Ocarina of Time's controls.
I mean, it had a...
You feel that?
I'm not going to argue it.
You feel that in the air?
It didn't hurt me.
There's so much hate coming through right now.
Oh, yeah. People that actually appreciate Ocarina of Time for what it was. I mean, without the N64, you wouldn't have, like, modern-day analog controls, so we'll just put that to the side.
Okay. All right. So, that's a scarecrow argument, but all right. I feel you.
But, yeah, you had dual analogs by that time. And, the movement was definitely more fluid. It was more 3D platformer-esque feeling. I'm not going to say it was a 3D platformer, but definitely...
Ocarina of Time was...
No.
Probably not a platformer.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about MediEvil.
MediEvil was a platformer?
No, I'm saying, like, control-wise. He was kind of 3D. He You rolled around.
You did not need analogs to play that game.
No, but...
As a matter of fact, the PS1 controller did not have analogs for a long time, if you remember.
I do.
Yeah.
I played it on Vita with an analog stick.
The first game that really utilized the analog thing was
Ape Escape.
Ape Escape.
Yeah, there you go.
You couldn't use... Could you even play that game
No.
without it?
No. The right stick was your weapon.
Wow.
Weird. Go back and play that game.
Ape Escape?
Yeah.
We have that on the PSP.
How the fuck does that work?
I have no idea, actually, now that I think about it. We played that in church.
Was it a PSP version? Or was
Yeah.
it like a... Okay. So it was actually made for the PSP.
Yeah. So it...
Yeah, okay. It wasn't like a PS1 port to the PSP. Because the PSP could play PS1
No, it was
ports.
definitely... No, it was remastered or like something because it had slightly better graphics, and yeah, it was definitely coded for the PSP.
Yeah, because you could
the
not...
PSP literally only had it had one stick. If you don't remember,
You call it
if
a
you stick.
You call it a
stick.
stick. I don't know what that thing
It
was.
was literally like a little slidey thing.
I have one over here. I don't know where it's at.
Oh no, I'm quite familiar with it. Yeah, but
Moving on to the big one, the big meaty course of this week.
Okay.
The Outer Worlds.
Boy.
It looks fucking great.
It looks hype.
It does. It's coming out for Game Pass. So I don't even have to buy it.
I'll shed a little tear. Because even though I do have a Game Pass on the Xbox, I'll probably shell out the $60 for the PS4 version.
Just because you got the Pro and 4K, yeah.
I've got the Pro and I got the 4K TV, so, I'll pay a little bit, but I'll pay some more money for the resolution and all that.
If it has options, are you going to go resolution over frames?
I'll probably have to fill them out. See how the performance. I usually try to stick to the resolution.
I can't.
As long as it performs well, But if it becomes an issue, I'll probably just.
I don't think it'll be an issue, because by what I read, it's actually 1440 upscaled to 4K.
I mean, everything's upscaled.
On the Pro, yeah. But still, when it came back to God of War, it had its choices. I couldn't. Maybe it looked better, on the 4K resolution, but you could do performance mode where it did 1080 at 60 or tried to hold 60. And it was just, I love the fluidity of 60 frames. It's just.
I don't remember how I played through God of War. I want to say I did the resolution one.
You told me when you first got it that you did resolution.
Yeah.
It looked good.
That sounds about right.
But like.
I played through Sekiro on resolution. I know that much.
Really? Well, I mean, that game can feel fast, but yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's that jank. I love that jank. It's not even jank. That Souls laggy-esque cinematic frame rate. 24 frames.
No, you used to play the old school Souls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want that motion.
Hashtag,
I want that.
Bring back Blighttown.
Yeah, not that bad. But I love that motion blur, like sort of cinematic effect type deal. I don't know. Frames don't really bother me too much unless it's a huge noticeable
dip.
issue.
If it's not locked, then it dips a lot. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But before we did this, we actually watched quite a few little tidbits about it to be up to par when it comes to knowledge on the Outer Worlds.
Mm-hmm. And all of it looked phenomenal.
It does. It screams to me. I like your first thought was
Bioshock in space.
Yeah, and I think Bioshock sounds good. I think Bioshock with a little bit of Fallout
in there,
and then some Borderlands. Just some of the way he walks through and some of the way the enemies act coming towards him just looked a little bit of all that meshed together. Not a bad fucking thing at all. Looks like you have like your Fallout dialogue options. I hate to compare it to Fallout, but it's Obsidian making the game, and they really popped off when they did New Vegas.
Yeah, they've got their hands in the Fallout games. For
yeah,
sure.
So that's where that's coming from, and there's nothing I can do about that. But the dialogue options and the character builds, where you could do stealth and all that good jazz, also kind of bleeds back a little towards Fallout more than Borderlands or Bioshock.
Absolutely, I will probably spend many hours on that game. I'm a fan.
I'll spend quite a bit of time trying to get it to fucking play optimally first.
Well, by the time you get it to run, I'll probably have beat it twice. Almost have all the trophies in it.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Yeah, I know. I'll boot it up. Let's see if I can do 1440. If I can do 1440, it'll be fine. If not, the 1080 at 60.
It did below 60. I gotta tone that back down from ultra high to high. Ugh. The struggles.
Yeah. I can't help it.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Should be like a form of torture. Take this 5-year-old game and get it to run on a PC, please. I'll talk. I'll tell you anything I want.
No, 5 years isn't long enough. I think say 10 to 15.
Take this retro game. Take this 360 game and get it to run on Steam.
God damn it.
At ultra settings.
Like, what'd you come up with the other day? I just got done reading Dead Space comic book, so I was really into Dead Space. So I hopped on to Origins and signed up for their little basic program, whatever. Downloaded Dead Space for PC. Holy fucking shit. I wasn't 5 minutes into the game before I found a game-breaking bug. Just for shits and giggles. Go to Google, if you're listening to this, type in Dead Space PC. The first 5 things you see haven't been resolved in fucking 15 years. They haven't fixed them. You have to run the game in VSync, or else certain cutscenes don't apply. My God. Yeah. I don't understand it. Sorry, that was a whole nother tangent. And then the mouse controls were awful. It's definitely optimized for fucking console.
It's almost like it came out on console.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like, I don't get it.
I got it to run in 4K.
Good job. You did it.
But it wouldn't do anything because I couldn't get past an invisible wall.
That's rough, man.
Yep.
That's why I stick to the consoles. I buy a game, it downloads, it installs, it updates, and I'll play it. And I can maybe fiddle with a few options. And that's about it.
Normally,
I don't have to update drivers or browse
drivers aren't that big of a deal. People like to make that joke, but most of the time I do get lost in options.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
I
said, I'm new to the PC forefront, just for listeners, so that's why I'm fascinated with it. I can't just stick to one thing. I go to a game, I try to get it in the highest resolution possible with the highest frame rate possible, and then I fiddle with the graphic fidelity on every little fucking thing from shaders to... I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm that guy. I want it to run at the highest resolution at the best frame rate possible, and if not, I'll notch it back, and if not, I scream and shout and I won't play it.
Yep. Got like 9 games over here on the right side of your desktop. You beat any of them yet?
Gears 5.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
8 more to go.
Yeah. Probably halfway through Dishonored.
Nice. Good game.
Yeah.
Getting back to Outer Worlds, though, does look super hype.
Yeah, looks good. Looks like it's going to run good. Pretty much every platform. Look pretty.
The atmosphere look cool. Just the gameplay in general look cool. Like I mean, we said it already. Like a little bit of Fallout mixed with some BioShock in there. Crazy ass weapons. Very RPG-ish. You know, Fallout is quote unquote an RPG, but at the end of the day, it just comes to shoot things.
I mean, yeah, but you have a way to go around shooting things. You don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like they kind of complement the shooting.
Yeah. Or hacking a terminal to not.
Yeah.
You know.
This game
looks engage in conflict or whatnot. Looks like it'll have a little bit of that.
Yeah, this Outer Worlds game looks like it's very much delved into, like, you want to do this specifically, there's options for that. As opposed to, you know, like, this will help it a little bit, but at the end of the day, you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope that, like, I take one full build, you know, say I want stealth 100%. I hope I'm not, like, penalized in, like, certain parts of the game for, like, not taking...
Oh, yeah, like, at a certain point where it's like, I've invested all my points into this, and now I have to do this scenario.
Thing that seems like it would be better built for anything else other than what I want to sneak around here, but there's no fucking way to sneak around here. So let me just fumble around with my terrible dexterity and try to fire a gun.
Let me quick save 8 times to make sure I get through this one fight.
Yeah. That'd be a nightmare, but I think we're in good hands. I don't know if Obsidian Games has actually developed a game this big. I mean, I'm sure they've done something in the past, but this seems like it's going to be their big claim to fame. They're going to get rid of the Seinfeld syndrome, if you will. You know?
Yeah.
They're gonna... Oh, see, they made Fallout. No, now it's gonna be... Oh, shit, they did Outer Worlds.
They're trying to one-up themselves.
Yeah.
Make a name for them.
Yeah, so I think they'll do good. It looks good all the way around, and...
Hope it works out for them, because it does look very good. That drops Friday, October 25th, 2019.
The same day...
Call of Duty
Call
Modern
of Duty,
Warfare
motherfucker.
2019 comes out.
Here's another one of those things where...
I'm not getting this, dog.
This is another one of those games that's just making us call a game something else other than its title because of its previous releases. You know, like Doom. Well, now we got Doom, we got Doom 2016. And now we got Modern Warfare.
Doom 2019 Switch version. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 PS4
Call of Duty Modern
edition.
Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and now we just
Modern
have...
Warfare Remaster.
Yeah, now we got Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah.
Looks great. They're all polished. They got all the money in the fucking world, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's your typical arcade shooter, quote unquote.
I feel like we're gonna shit on it just because.
I mean, I just have not had. I mean, it was hype back in the day.
Yeah. When it was new, when it was new, and it was the thing to have, man.
You know, early Xbox Live PSN days. You know, it was a game to play with people, and you know, I wasn't terribly good at it or anything. It was just like, you know, you just played it just to play with friends, and then 5 games later, you're like, okay, man, we got more variety on the market now. It's time to move on. You know, like, so. I
mean, like, when I go back and I can't even tell you the last one I played. I think we talked about this a little bit in one of our other ones. I know I've played a little Black Ops 4 just because when I got my PC, it was already here. And I didn't even play multiplayer. I played zombies. I've always loved the zombies. Don't get me wrong. Zombies are always fun.
Yeah, zombies is always fun.
Yeah, especially you get a group of people and specifically the old school characters. I like I can't even remember their fucking names.
You're talking about like the old
Nikolai
school.
And you know, the main four from World at War.
The Kino der Toten days. Yeah.
The main four. The Russian, the German, the American, and the Japanese guy.
Yeah.
That their little story and their little quirks they make, that always made it. And once they deviated from that, it kind of hurt me a bit, but you know.
Yeah, never been a big Call of Duty multiplayer guy, but I mean, if that's your kind of thing, if you're a Let's Play YouTuber, I'm sure you'll feel you'll fit right at home this Friday, boy.
I remember back in high school, many years ago.
Yes, fucking so long ago.
Yeah. That's when I realized that other people play video games other than gamers. But that doesn't mean they play video games. It means they play one fucking game and they call themselves a gamer. There was a guy, I would consider him a jock back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And he played, I can't remember which game it was, one of the fucking ones on 360 days. And I was like, dog, you don't even play games. I got you. Like, you ain't gonna... I could not beat him. I couldn't beat him. Turns out this was my first interaction with headsets and Turtle Beaches.
Oh, yeah, no, that's, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
For that type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that was the whole 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was nothing I could do. And then I realized that, yeah, he had a pair of the, you know, OG Turtle Beaches.
Mm-hmm. He could hear your footsteps.
Yep, from a mile away. I'm like, well, that's shit.
That's pay to win. It's pay to win at that point. Yeah, no, I had similar experiences because, like, you remember one of those early perks was always, like, Ghost or something. Like, your footsteps are lighter. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck uses that? I can't even hear footsteps normally. Like, what? And I was like, come to find out, yep. You come around the corner and the guy's already, like, you see in the kill cam, he's looking one way and he's all of a sudden, he just snaps over here and you're like, oh, he totally heard me coming.
Yep. That's what people do. But, I mean, now gaming's more of a hardcore market.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, there's competitive game. God damn, 10 years ago we did not. There's no way. We grew up in that era of where, like...
Online games, yeah, woo!
Your parents are like, you just gotta play that game for the rest of your life. And then, like, some kids our age are probably doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, hell yeah. I just had the right setup at the right time. I stream and I make money. But coming from where we are, shit, you gonna just do that the rest of your life? Yeah, I like it and it's fun.
Maybe.
Now it's a fucking full-time job for people.
True that.
I wish.
I mean, esports is a thing. Streaming's a thing.
I think esports is a little out of my league.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree. It's out of my league too, but some people...
I can't see myself getting, like, ridiculously good at a game.
I mean, do it for a few years and you're set, right?
I feel like you need the money up front. How am I gonna sit at home for like umpteen hours and just play a game without having?
You just have to suffer through it for a little bit. Like, I don't. We might have brought it up earlier, like the League of Legends thing.
Yeah.
Most of the pro players, like back in the day, like back when I kept up with League, you know, they're full-time streamers now. And they don't even have to do it. They just do it as like a hobby. They've made so much money off of streaming and like matches and stuff that they're set.
Yeah, I mean, why would you even go to those high dollar events just to be...
That's just more money.
Just to be banned for making a comment.
Basically, you just, you place and you make money. And then you go home and you stream and you make more money. So.
One day we'll all get there.
I don't think I'll get to esports level, but...
Oh, no, I don't want esports level. I just want stream level. Love to just be able to stream.
You gotta stream first.
You just want to be able to stream and make money.
There you go. Where can we catch your stream at?
See, look, I'm so unprepared. I'm so unprepared.
Oh, that's your Twitter handle.
That was my Twitter handle. You can catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/SirSnacks. Follow me over on Twitter at Sir_Snack. Find me on Facebook at SirSnack, all one word. Most of the people that are listening to this probably already know that. Yep. I'm also on YouTube, Sir Snack, one word.
Links in the description below.
Always.
We glossed over that Call of Duty thing pretty well, but...
I mean, like, what else
what more is there?
Call of Duty 38 has released.
You play as a soldier. You shoot insurgents. There will probably be some Michael Bay moments in the single player.
Holy shit, what? Transformers are in that game? No, that was Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to ghost that game.
Oh! We're awful.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Coming up on our newer topics, which I like to call Topics to the Table.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is where you as a listener and or viewer, we don't really have video, so you as a listener can send in questions. Send them into YouTube, my Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you can get a hold of me. Like I said, links in the description below. This is from our A1 Day 1, as I like to call him. First fan, first comment, so appreciate it. MVP, yeah. This is from Joey, once again. If you could have a remake of any game, and you were in charge of it, what game and what changes would you make to said game?
Pokemon. I would remake the hell out of Pokemon.
You said that without thinking a lot. It scares me.
Nope. Here's how it goes.
Are we sure it's Pokemon?
Yeah.
Which Pokemon?
So remake or be in charge of?
Be in charge of a remake.
A remake. Okay.
If you could have a remake of any game and you were in charge of it, what game and what changes would you make to the game?
Okay. I'm gonna spin that a little bit. Because
I'm gonna tell the folks. I give you a chance before we start this to
hear the question.
To hear the question.
Yeah.
And most of the time he doesn't want to. He likes to be in the moment and stuff. And
I
appreciate that.
I want to be candid.
But for this one specifically, I was like, I think a little digging in the brain wouldn't have hurt. So
here's my ideal setup.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a remake, but this is how I would handle Pokemon.
So you're still sticking with Pokemon?
Yeah.
Gen 1, doesn't matter? Or?
All the gens. A newer one, like
just
X and Y. Just like 3D Pokemon game with the entire dex. Up to whatever point. If I was the lead man and budget wasn't an issue, it would be a true-to-word open world Pokemon game. Okay?
That's what everybody wants.
Well, that's what they claim it is, but it's really not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because there's always a linear path to Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get past this part until you beat this gym in this order.
Well, I mean, that kind of works the way that it works, but sorry, you're explaining your way.
Yeah, I got you. But the way I would do it is, all right. I'm trying to say a whole bunch of things at the same time. essentially imagine like Oblivion or Fallout, right? It's open world. Literally as soon as Professor Weeping Willow Tree,
there you go,
or Sycamore Tree, gives you your starter.
There's already a Professor Sycamore, wasn't
I don't know. I think there's a Professor Willow as well, but we'll say Professor Eucalyptus gives you your starter.
Shout out to Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
exclusives dropped here.
He gives you your starter, and he says, go out and complete the Pokédex, catch them all, do the Pokemon thing. From that point, open world. You can go beat the gyms in whatever order you want. You can go interact with, other buddies and stuff. And I would like to tie more RPG stuff into it, because that's never really been a thing. Like I said, Pokemon's usually pretty linear up until like the end game, where you can fly all over the place.
Like right when you get to the Pokemon or the league.
Yeah. Like,
then you can kind of go
like right before that or right after that.
Then you can go do the secret bosses or whatever else.
Yeah. So like the way I would do it, make it open world, tie in like not even RPG elements, but like side quest stuff. Like Team Mafia is trying to rob the Pokestore. It's a specific event tied to this time, like stop them and you have a chance to get this item because the cashier's thing, like little interactions, like little side quests and stuff. And, you can go and tackle the gyms whenever you want to, but it also does like, like the Fallout, Oblivion, Skyrim thing where like, you have this little starting area and the further you go out, Pokemon trainers and battles and stuff get harder.
I was going to say.
Which kind of like...
It would have to scale in some point or way.
So you can't just like go from the starting point and go to like, I don't know, some like imaginary...
Cinnabar Island and get your level 50 badge.
Let me take my level 2 starter Pokemon and just beat the shit out of Mewtwo or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Zygarde, So, kind of keep the exploration open a little bit, let it branch out, I think it'd be cool.
I think that people have wanted that for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah?
That's all that people have really, kind of beat the drum on.
Well, I don't know about that, but I've always seen, the dark route of Pokemon. Fans always want, a dark spin to the Pokemon thing where,
well, that's cool, too,
but... they're part of the team or, whatever evil team it is, and, Pokemon are murdered and stuff like that. That's...
But I think what you're talking about would work really well, and it would really revolutionize, Pokemon as we know. Because right now, even with Sword and Shield coming out, we all know what it's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
As excited as everybody can be about it, it's going to be that same semi-linear...
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But with Pokemon.
It's going to be that same semi-linear Pokemon story. You're the hero. You have a bad guy. You have a rival, he's going to have a team rock, it's going to be that. That's what it's going to be. But does it have to be? Apparently so, because Nintendo can't fucking do anything without, rehashing the same idea for this, last 20 years.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, I get that, but there's a point, even as, I think they broke Zelda. I'm a huge Zelda fan, but I think they did break Zelda trying to do something new with it. I like the open world with Breath of the Wild.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah,
think about the Pokemon
in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you can talk to people over here. You don't necessarily have to, but if you do, you might get
But see, they changed too much about it that kind of fucked up what I thought was good about Zelda, and that's when it kind of divvied up the fan base. And some people like it, some people don't. It's a fine game. Is it a good Zelda game? I don't think so. I think it's a fine game on its own right, but when you start breaking weapons and go through 38 shields and 38 swords in a minute, I don't like that.
That whole durability thing.
That really broke the game.
Yeah.
When it comes to Pokemon, I think it worked perfectly because it's an RPG. Most RPGs are open world. Side quests would definitely help, and you could add extra flavor to Pokemon themselves. Take tips from the anime. Remember that one character in the anime that left a Charmander out in the woods while it was raining.
Oh yeah, fucking asshole.
And then and Ash had to go out there and he found
found a Charmander with a little. What do you have? A little leaf just covering up his ember.
That wasn't in the original anime. That was in a movie or something like that. But because the original, I think he just catches a fucking Charmander. But
the main thing I would want them to do too, still going on the Pokemon thing, is take out. This is just like a complaint I've got. Pokemon games, story-wise, way too easy.
Yeah.
Because, anytime you battle, like, a trainer or a gym leader or whatever, you more or less know, like, what's coming your way. They, like, broadcast it to you, like, such and such is about to send out Golem.
Not even that. Normally the gyms are themed.
Yeah, like, this is the water gym.
And your region that you're in kind of... Like, when you're going down, like, route whatever the fuck. Most of them are rock climber, whoever the hell. And they got a Zubat and a fucking Golem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that continues until you get to somewhere else. And they got a Vulpix and a...
You know what would be really cool to see? Instead of, like, type-specific gyms, you have, like... This is TV settings, by the way. We're just messing with TV settings. Instead of it being, like, type-affiliated, if it was themed affiliated. So, like, instead of, like, your fighting-type gym or your water-type gym, if it was, like, Pokemon that all, like, lore-wise kind of tie into the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's still, like, some variety there, but they all kind of, like... Say, like, you have, like, a...
That could get dark fast. All I thought was Drifbloom. You know the lore behind Drifbloom?
Is that which one is that?
The balloon Pokemon that, like, carries children off to die.
Is that the one with the little dandelion things?
I think so. He's just a balloon. But then, like, if you ever see Drifbloom, like, the Pokedex entry is, like, if you ever see him drifting along, he's probably carrying, like, a child with him to the other side.
Well, yeah. Some of that lore does get dark.
Yeah, like a mass suicide gym where you just go in there and there's fucking there's Cubones and Drifblooms.
Maybe not go that dark with it, but like it would be cool to see like you come up to like a gym who has like I don't know, she's like a weather reporter or something, and all of the Pokemon she has to do with like weather effects. So she's
elements, yeah.
Yeah, so like she'll send out like a Tyranitar, and it's like
now all of a sudden, sandstorm.
Yeah, now all of a sudden it's a sandstorm, and then next thing she sends out like a damn.
Just something that uses...
Ivysaur, Venus. What's the final form? Venusaur. And it's like all of a sudden the weather's cleared up. It's a sunny day.
Oh yeah, because he does that. It's
yeah. So like something like that, or like
man, that would make shit fucking rough.
I mean, maybe. So you gotta.
That way you would have to go to your box and actually utilize every Pokemon, because why would you ever utilize any Sorry.
Instead of just sticking with your starters and then disregarding them.
Yeah, I got 6 Pokemon. They're my slaves. The rest of them live in purgatory, and I'll never see them again until my game battery... Wait, that doesn't happen anymore.
Also, I'd love to see them just get rid of IVs and EVs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what separates the men from the...
I know it does. And you can have that if you want to, but at the end of the day, it's all the same base numbers.
I mean...
Because think about it. Every Pokemon you use in competitive is always the same nature, same stat boosted thing.
Oh, towards the end. Well, that's just meta shit.
Yeah. Well, so why not just have it be that instead of having to hatch eggs for that or hack for that, So just have it be this Pokemon is this with this. And sometimes it can get a little finicky, like take Lucario, for example. He can be a physical attack, or he can be...
I used to love Lucario.
Lucario go hard. He can be a physical attack.
Special attack.
Or he can be a special attack.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be one or the other, maybe like, you can always like go in there with your Pokemon and give them items and just flip it. Be like, go from the physical aspect to the special attack aspect. Or from that to like the tanky aspect.
So basically, it's
RPG.
What you're saying is like, Pokemon's a little stagnant. And it has been. Right?
Yeah.
So, actually, instead of, like, giving players half-ass ways of doing things, fucking kind of shit or get off the pot. Like, make yourself a full-fledged RPG and give your players, like, an actual way of, like, discovering a world and being an RPG.
Make it feel like you're exploring, not just like you're on a roller coaster of just, like, I've got the starter Pokemon. I'm a Pokemon trainer.
And
let me follow.
Let me follow the fucking anime.
Yeah, let me follow. There's 2 routes out of my hometown, but I can only go to one of them because there's a boulder blocking this entrance to the cave, and I can't smash that boulder until I get HM04. So I guess I better go fight this trainer and get the boulder smash, rock smash, whatever. Let it just open the whole thing up, and be like going about your merry way. Oh my God! There's trainers out here that I'm not ready for. Maybe I'll get a better.
Like a real RPG.
Yeah.
You run into some forests and fuck, what was the name of that goddamn game? Square Enix Switch game, Octopath Traveler. Sorry.
There you go.
You know, you take the wrong path in that, you'll know. It doesn't have to have a fucking tree or a boulder to tell you. You know, you can get lucky for the first battle, but then the next one, you know, oh shit, this motherfucker's slapping me for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I have 50 health.
It would just
run.
I would love for it to be like more RPG. I would also like for it to be. I'm going on this for like so long.
This is great because I don't think people are going to appreciate mine as much as they do you.
My bad, but I'd like to see more themes in the wild. You know, Pokemon's usually just. It's always either just like wild grass in this area. You have a chance to get this Pokemon. I like to see it have like more biomes. You know.
Oh yeah.
So like if you're like in a desert area. There's, you know, whatever the desert equivalent of, like, tall grass would be, like maybe deep sand or what. That's where you're, like...
Sand in my shoes. There's wild Pokemon around.
Yeah. That's where, you know, that's where your ground rock types, maybe some flying types would be at. Or, like, you go to a swampy area, that's where, like, some water type, poison, grass types would be at. You know, just so you know exactly where you need to go.
They dove into those elements and earlier in, you know, all around the games. But as they carry on, they seem to just kind of leave those in the past and... don't really utilize them like we're talking about. Like they don't actually bring it to like the full potential that it could be.
Exactly.
Like because I remember in come on, 12-year-old, 13-year-old brain, Ruby Sapphire. Was there not a sandy area and a swampy area? If not that, Diamond and Pearl. One of them had that.
I did not play those.
But yeah, but like I get what you're saying. It's definitely not utilized to its full potential.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, and yeah, they definitely have snowy areas where snowy. Yeah, but it doesn't have that straight immersion. Most of the time, it is just there's tall grass and there's Pokemon,
and you have like
and there's random ass Pokemon.
Yeah, roll a D20, and you'll get whatever this is.
It should be like tall grass and
it's like I want to
like some rocky gravel next. You know, you're going up a hill, some grass, then gravel, and then. Oh shit! It rained and there's a little mud and I don't know. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not for us to fucking decide how this works.
Exactly. This is just spitballing.
I mean, they should have done this by now. Fuck, we're talking 1998.
From a developer standpoint, I've no idea how this would work in like gameplay wise, story wise. That's another thing. They need to hire some fucking writers. We need a good Pokemon story.
They need the guy that writes the fucking Pokedex entries to actually make a story.
Yeah, canonically, something. Because literally, all the Pokemon stories are so half-assed.
They're boring.
They are so boring. You start out and you're just like...
Who cares about the story? I haven't cared about a Pokemon story since I was fucking 8 playing Blue.
Exactly. I don't even remember what Y story was. That was the last Pokemon game I played.
Well, they started getting... Towards the end of the game, they actually had some weird shit in them.
It always just follows the same formula of like... Start out in your hometown. I'm going to be the best there ever was. I beat a gym. My rival's also beating gyms.
By the time you actually start unlocking like what would be an interesting part of the story, you're fucking brain dead.
Yeah, and that around that time, you know, the evil team gets introduced, and they're like, "Ha, you have no idea what I've got planned." And then, like halfway through the story,
you know what they got planned. They're gonna steal fucking Pikachu or some shit. I don't know.
they're gonna use whatever legendary Pokemon is relevant to do this thing to bend the world to their will or something.
But that's just that Nintendo factor, man. They've if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've been doing the same thing. Because I think in like fucking Sun and Moon. There was there was a fucking cosmic puffball that a trainer carried around, and it turned out that thing was the key to everything.
How about that? It was a MacGuffin the whole time.
A MacGuffin.
Plot point.
What is that? What is a MacGuffin?
That's an item, like Indiana Jones. It's a plot device that just the entire story revolves around that.
God damn, did you just come up with a new Pokemon name that would actually be a cool Pokemon name?
MacGuffin?
Yeah.
That's a media studies term.
I know, but damn, that would make a good fucking... They should have named... What the fuck was his name? Cosmo something. Damn, he should have been named MacGuffin. Anyway. Instead of just like looking at a bowl of ice cream and being like, Creamaberry? I don't know.
There's some garbage over there. Garbage dunk?
Let's get fuck. Let's get Ben and Jerry over here. They'll really nail this one down.
Anyway, it's not really a remake, but that's my idea. I think that'd be neat. What do you got going on?
You know, it's coming.
Mag.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yep.
We talked about this the other day.
Should have guessed.
I thought about it so hard
Shoulda
when he
guessed.
brought the question up. Shout out to Joey once again. Always bringing the thought-provoking.
Well, first of all, Mag should balance their factions. That's their key number one
It
thing.
did seem like a thing back in the day, but I think if that game was remade and I was in charge of it, absolutely. Fuck. If you played the game, a lot of people didn't. It's pretty easy to fucking say everything I'm about to say, but more fucking maps. There was only 3 maps for each game mode, depending on your faction.
They're big maps, though.
They were huge maps, yeah, depending on what was going on. But more support for the game. Like, it's just basic to everybody else, but if you actually played Mag and you knew where I was fucking coming from, the game was amazing. It was like Battlefield, but on steroids. But the hardware wasn't quite there yet. It really bled the PS3 for all it fucking had. You had 256 players on a map. Maps were massive. You had
Platoons.
You had platoons. You had squads that led up to platoons. You had platoon leaders, squad leaders. You had an officer in charge. And when you actually ran with a clan, you could actually have all those numbers filled out. You could have your guy in charge of 126 people, or I'm probably fucking the numbers up. 256 divided by 2.
128.
128. Yep. You could have your guy as officer in charge. You could have your platoon leaders in charge of I think it was 2 platoons and squad leaders, all assigned, and they all had their direct abilities that would affect the maps. It would affect.
They took that military lingo to heart, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's what made it so fun. It was arcade, like it was a little more arcadey. It wasn't straight like realism.
Yeah.
You know, so that it didn't really break the game just being real, but your communication and your squad-based tactics is what made the game fun for me. I was really hardcore into it. And just, I think that game needs to come back somehow. But Zipper Interactive, the guys that made SOCOM, they got defunct right after they made a Vita game, Unit 13, something like that. It was like their last fucking straw. Sony just pulled the plug, killed the servers. I think it would work fantastic. Think Planet Side, but just straight hardcore communication. And just, they need more maps, more game modes as well. The game modes they did add that were DLC fucked up because it did that thing where not a lot of people played the game in the first place. So when they added DLC...
Oh, you had like missing people in the game or stuff?
Yeah, it divided the game. So Escalation and... Fuck, I can't remember the other one. Escalation in the other game mode was hardly playable unless you actually had, quote, clan battles. And as you know, I had a full clan. Like, we had a website and everything. We had merch.
What's the name of the clan?
Weed the Best.
Weed the Best.
Yeah, I was 16 at the time.
Shout out to any Weed the Best players out there, maybe listening to this.
Yep. I remember the last hoorah the game had, if you will. Everybody in different parts of the world united for clans, and I think I was obviously part of U.S.
Did y'all have a rival clan?
We had a lot of people that didn't like us just because what we stood for. We basically were just like weed advocates.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and people did not like that. Especially because, one, I was a minor when I first joined, and people got wind of that, and my homie Blackjack, he was also a minor. We were the 2 youngest guys in the clan. But we
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Well, when people got wind that we were advocates for weed, and we had kids in the clan, basically it was just me and Blackjack, I think there was 1 or 2 others, they really talked shit to us, you know, but it didn't matter.
With the rival clan people?
Yeah.
Well, you got PlayStation messages and everything?
Yeah. Well, no, it had in-game voice chat and stuff. You know, we didn't have party chat, but had in-game voice chat and.
That's how that game should be played, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I think party system would ruin something like that.
Yeah.
I've said it before. Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna do this,
because when you die, like you can talk to your people and stuff, but you can't see them. You kind of sit at the spawn, so you can't hover around them and be like your left side, right side. You don't. It's kind of fucked up. But
Anyway, get back in the lore of the clans. Y'all Weed the Best.
Yep.
You didn't have like a main rival like KSI or anything.
KSI was on there. Holy shit! Yeah.
I mean, they were at everything back then.
Yeah. KSI. God, it's been so long. Fuck, I cannot remember shit for any of it because, like I said, it's been a while. Game got cut off in 2013. But just everything about it, I feel like it's hard for me to explain it to people because most people did not fucking play it because it's a PlayStation exclusive.
It's free, right? It's a free to play game?
No.
Was it?
No.
Oh.
And when Sony was doing their little PlayStation Plus thing, I was hoping that they would release that game for free to at least boost our player base. They didn't. They didn't give a shit. They pulled the plug on Zipper and then just watched us drown. They just watched our player base dwindle. But my name actually ended up on one of the final rosters because it was a community event, and we did country-based clan matches, and I was part of US, and I came in like 26 ranked for US.
Nice, dog.
Yep. Name was up there.
Good stuff.
Bunny Snack, boy. Made me so happy. Made me feel like my name was solidified. But now no one cares. It doesn't matter.
A bit of history associated with
it. Yeah. I wish I could talk better about it, but like I said, it's not going to matter to people because, like, when you're talking about Pokemon, everybody knows Pokemon. Everybody loves Pokemon, most people.
Well, I think there's a select few people out there who probably know what MAG is.
It got a very bad rep, but when the game first released, it did terribly. And then it did that thing that games really do nowadays, but it got revamped like a year afterwards to, like, pretty much change everything in the game.
Oh, I got like a big old sandbox change thing.
Well, not the game and the way the guns work, but the game originally had a skill tree, and that doesn't really work for a game like that. I get what they were going for; it was like an RPG element, but like I said, that doesn't really work well for shooters. You know, you had skill points,
especially just like a multiplayer shooter.
It was almost like an MMO shooter, kind of akin to PlanetSide. And when you have that many people on a battlefield, and the way it worked was you had repairers, you had engineers basically that could like heal up your tanks and heal up your anti-air forces. And when the game really broke itself down, and you tried to play it hardcore, like when you tried to spread those abilities around, it was hard to be proficient in, like, because it had like stabilization for aiming, but how are you supposed to have somebody that was good enough to repair your anti-air battery so you're not getting constantly bombed, and then if someone's running towards them and they don't have like their stable aiming perks,
they just get shot.
There's nothing they can do to, they're not proficient at shooting because they have faster repairs and stuff.
But on the flip side, if it did work how it was, I'm assuming how they intended it to, it would probably be phenomenal. I'm repairing this. Let me get a guy who's got that stabilization to cover me.
That's what made the game. That's why I'll always love it. When you actually had that camaraderie and that clan-based system, just everything would work so perfectly.
I would like to see Battlefield or, some other massive, big multiplayer thing implement something like that.
Battlefield tries it, right? But the main thing Battlefield is missing is, one, a lot of players. But Battlefield has enough players, I think it could do it. But the way the party system worked with MAG, when it broke itself down to having, like, an officer in charge, and he was in charge of everybody, and he had, like, big abilities that could increase your spawn rate and decrease their spawn rate. Platoon leaders had things that would blow up their spawn points and gas like an entire line, so they could slow their spawns down, and if you were going for a certain area, they could gas it.
Just like apply pressure here.
Yep, and then your squad leaders, they had they had cluster bombs, so it wasn't quite like, it wouldn't destroy a spawn point, but it applied enough pressure that if people actively tried to spawn there, it was enough for them to basically die or try to get the fuck out of there, and enough for you. But there was team fire, or friendly fire, yes. So you couldn't, you kind of had to play that out, like, mark it right and do it right, or else
that carpet bomb's done. Let's get in there and get that point or whatever.
But yeah, like, if you could get behind enemy lines and blow up their AA, anti-air, And then you could start bunker bombing their shit once your AA could get in there, boy.
I would love to see
right,
it.
yeah.
Like
we used to always scream it, right side and sweep, boys, right side and sweep. And then you have officer in charge. All right, right bunker down, everybody go. And you get behind enemy lines and just fuck that shit up. And that game got a bad rep because, reviews and the way it first played sucked. And, I hate that that's how everyone got to appreciate the game. Yeah, I stayed along for a long while, and I got to appreciate what the game actually tried to do. Was not perfect in any way. Wouldn't even consider it to be a 8 or a 9, probably.
It's a niche audience, though. If you can find your way, if you can find other people in that, that clique, then I bet it was great. I mean, obviously,
it was literally the closest thing.
You platinumed it. So
I did platinum that game, and the platinum trophy figure was actually me. Nice. I got the plat. The last plat was like literally repair 50 anti-air batteries.
Oof, some rough.
No, it was destroy or something like that. So I had to get behind enemy lines and destroy 50. Anyway, the symbol for the platinum is a guy with a sergeant hat on, a little, what do you call it, beret with a star or some shit on it. And he was holding a rifle in metal hands. Nice. It was a little stick figure, and he had his tongue out. And I fucking did that shit, and I was like, this should have been it. There should have been 50. And then they showed the image, and I'm standing there like, oh, that's me.
All right, so you talked enough about the game. What direction would you take it in? How would you remake it? Or
I think what it wanted to do was perfectly fine. I think it would work perfectly fine the way it was directed. I think everything would have been fine. Just the game didn't run well because of its ambitions, obviously.
Nowadays, I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, now we got the graphical capabilities. I mean, you're talking 256 players being rendered on a sandbox with 512 megabytes of RAM.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
Oof.
dog, yeah. I mean, the frame rate for that game was literally 30, but when you played Domination or Acquisition, no. Once you got out of the spawn, it was awful. It was awful, but I mean, you grew accustomed to it. I mean, we wasn't PC elitists by no means. We played what we had, and we yelled at each other through comms, and the way you could switch between, goddamn.
Yeah.
But what would I change? Like I said, not much of anything. The way they had the game towards the end, once they scrapped the RPG mechanics and basically made it to where you could buy everything that you needed, but your character had a loadout spec where you could only, things had weight to them. So, you could carry, you carry your assault rifle, your rocket launcher, but if you did that, you couldn't carry much more.
Right.
So you could be a little bit of this and a little bit of demolition.
Or you could go, straight up utility, I'm going to carry
Yep, you can carry a repair tool, but my main stick was silenced weapons, radar scanner, and there was something else. I can't remember it. But basically it showed every dot on the map. It would do a sweep. And that was just me. Because I was a quick guy. I was good on the aim, I didn't do the engineer and stuff unless I had to. But fuck, I was clan leader, I was platoon leader, I was squad leader, I was OIC. I was 16 years old yelling at fucking 30-year-olds.
We need to do this.
Yeah, I'll never forget my first charge into battle after being promoted. My clan leader was telling me how to do things, and it has proximity chat, and everybody was laughing at me. But I was a rank above them, and they were like, "All right, Bunny." Bunny was my name, and they're like, "All right, Bunny, go ahead and make a call out and do this." And I'm like, "All right, everybody, And then I heard my teammate running beside me talking in squad chat, but proximity chat's a thing. So he's like, I hear Bunny over there stuttering, trying to tell us everything. And I'm just like, fuck you, motherfuckers. But no,
I'll rank you right now.
I did. But yeah, we had everybody's name on fucking speed dial. I had a notebook with all my actual,
homies.
All my clan leaders and stuff, numbers written down. We had a chain of command.
I like the RPG thing to a degree. Maybe not like skill trees, but just multiple classes. How Battlefield's got it's got its 4 mainstays.
I mean, that's basically what it did to itself with the weight system. Yeah. You could only have certain, and you can have 4 loadouts, so you can change every time you die.
Right.
So you kind of everybody had their thing.
But I like the idea of you got a squad, and I don't know how many people are on a squad in that game, but like, you know, you got
8.
you got your point men, maybe a sniper guy in the back, maybe a guy who
One shot out. Respect, bro.
you know, you maybe like he's keeping eyes on everything. And then, you know, you maybe got like 1 or 2 guys that specialize in utility stuff, like let's hack their comms or scan the radar or whatever, or specialize in repairing shit. You know, like a full-fledged thing instead of just like 8 random people who are like all running assault because that gets the most kills, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the way, like, once you got to clan battles and stuff, you had to have that breakdown. You had to. Because you had to have the guy that could stop that tank or that ATV coming in with a supply drop and he's going to drop 16 people. Yeah, you had to be able to blow them up or stop them.
That's the one thing I don't like about Battlefield is like almost every class has an answer to everything, you know? Where it's
little bit, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, there's a tank rolling up. Well, I'm playing as one of these 3 classes. I can just throw C4 on it. I can shoot it with a rocket launcher. I can disable its tracks with this, you know? It's like...
Only assault.
Yeah, exactly.
Only assault couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Throw a grenade. 5 damage.
So I do like the class based thing a lot, you know, where it's like I've got this role to play. This is my role. It's almost like a dungeon crawler kind of thing in a way, where it's like I'm here to do this, and if I do this, my team has a little bit more of an advantage as opposed to just like
they had those game modes for the people that just want to do that.
Those are like your team death matches and stuff.
They had team deathmatch and they had basically rush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had team deathmatch and rush as well. So you didn't really need your engineers or anything for that. But if you went above and beyond,
yeah, for like the ground war type.
Yeah, they had
deals.
those, and if you did that, that was the real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I knew when you started diving into the Pokemon thing that you would have a lot more to bring to the table. Kind of, you knew.
Well, I thought about it a little bit. Like
your explanation was way better, but like I wouldn't change much about Mag, man. I would
just make it prettier, more accessible. Just
run better.
It's a solid game, but like at the time, it was just shooting for the stars. It
really was. Yeah.
It was way before its time.
I don't understand how it even did what it did. To be honest with you,
it really is like a miracle when you think about it.
Yeah. 256 players with airplanes dropping bombs and tanks blowing up shit.
On a console, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Bring back Mag. Do the fucking Rare thing where they just bring back a couple devs.
Oh yeah. Do that.
Yeah, and just bring back a couple Zipper.
Where's the game rights to Mag? Who owns those? I'm sure that
Sony's sitting on them.
Just put a developer on that.
No, before Sony does anything, they just bought Insomniac. If Sony does anything, bring back Resistance.
Did they not own Insomniac?
They do. They do now. They didn't before.
What? Insomniac made exclusive games for PlayStation?
They also made exclusive games for Xbox.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Sunset Overdrive.
That one game?
Yeah.
It was one game out of
but they made it for them. But yeah, Sony literally just bought Insomniac about 2 months ago.
Quick shout out to Joey. Good thought-provoking questions.
Yeah.
As usual. Seems to be 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Keep them coming. Anybody else that's anybody else that's listening, especially the people we mentioned earlier. Be great to see some input.
Brandon Cardwell, where you at?
Yeah.
Where's your topics to the table?
Yeah, it'd be great to see some of the old high school homies.
I know you missed them Halo 3 Forge map days. Played some Quidditch. I know you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate all our listeners. Joey, thank you for the questions. We're hitting that 1 hour 30-minute mark. We're starting to get over. I think this is going to be about our new norm. About an hour, a little over an hour.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
It feels natural. I don't want to rush.
I don't either. I like the discussion format.
Yeah.
I don't want to just plow through things and be like this, without even talking about them. Just that, just.
And even Joey stated to me earlier, he likes the way our tangents go. I mean, he could just be, saying nice things, but I think that's what makes us us. I want to be unique when it comes to this podcast formula.
Yeah,
I don't want to just do the same
not,
thing that everybody else does. I want to be.
It's not my podcast, but like I don't want to just sit here and just be
like. You have been here since the first one, and you helped me start the other one.
I know, but in terms of like format, I don't want us to just be like, this is what's happening in gaming news. This is going on. That's a thing. Moving on to the next thing.
That's why we have what we
care about.
Yeah. That's why I like those names. And I like topics of the tables. Also like how I spelled Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Nice touch.
Yeah, thanks. But I guess about an hour and 30 minutes is going to wrap it up for us. Thank you to everyone listening, especially you, Joey, for the questions. And this has been episode 8 of Talking Snacks, a gaming podcast.